afraid you don't get a ticket. Cruise control. I said he's going to go on a rant about buying it for wrong book. I'm forever in books. Audio books, podcasts, you see my feed. And so my last books were Jocko Willick's Extreme Ownership, Dichotomy of Leadership. Then it was Mel Robbins, The High Five Challenge. And then I heard Steve Harvey on a motivational, and he wrote a book. Act like a lady, think like a man. And I thought it was going to be on communication skills. It's not. It's about men and how women need to understand men, which is a whole bunch of rerun data for me because Steve Harvey is a born again Jesus freak. And it's like, yeah, I got all that. I was so disappointed. I'm 4 chapters in, and I'm like, okay, can we get to a communication punchline, please? So, in my audiobook library is now a useless book of rerun data. So far, haven't finished the book. We'll see. So that, and Jocko Willick, not too long ago, on one of his 5-minute, that's right. Oh, guys, Tucson, Arizona is world famous for the gem show. February is right around the corner. Oh, we got to go to the gem show this year. Yeah, I haven't been in. Last time I was at the gem show was 1997. Yep. Joseph Lockney, if you're out there, I was with you, pal. Good God, it's been a minute. And I just crawled into a washing machine and stayed there, getting nice and cleaned up. Hey, Misty Brown. I'm on a rant. I'm mad. I bought Steve Harvey's book. Act like a lady, think like a man. Thought it was on communication skills. It's not. It's all about men. I have that information already so far. So, the books, and I wanted everybody on social media, always has a book list of the books that made a difference in their life. Jocko Willick was talking not too long ago about, it was so funny, he says, when people start talking about themselves in the third person, that's strange. I do it all the time because of a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Jocko. Because when you can remove yourself, when you can disconnect and disengage enough emotionally and mentally to get yourself into a third-party position of viewing what's actually going on in your scenario, you get a different perspective. Boxcar Ted used to drag me up to Mount Lemmon, and he used to drag me up to Casa Grande to the truck stop for chicken noodle soup when I get all spun out, because he knew if he could physically remove me and get me into a physical position, location to where I was experiencing my life, I would have a different perspective, which is why vacations work. Well, it's why prison works. It's why jail works. But when you come back into your environment, you're once again saturated until you read a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and they teach you how to do that. It's actually very interesting. It's also the same book that I wrote my mission statement out of. There's an exercise in that book that requires you to do the exercise of writing your own eulogy in that particular moment in time of your life, as if you died today. What would the people say in your life about you? What's their experience of you thus far? And then the other part of writing my mission statement exercises was defining those characteristics and shooting for a target. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Those 2 exercises. There's the third person point of view is actually from a position. The story is about a prisoner who is being tortured, and he managed to turn his tortured captors into his best friends and biggest advocates. And the way he was able to do that was by managing himself after looking at the scenario from a third point of view and being able to connect with the humanity of the people that were torturing him. That's a tall order. When you have somebody sitting there physically, mentally torturing you, and you can remove yourself from that and still connect to the humanity and that individual, that's saying something. Because that's not usually anybody's skill set. That takes some commitment. But for him, he was a prisoner. Where was he going to go? Not like he could go anywhere. So, books, the other book, Mel Robbins' High Five Challenge, that I'm not done with it. I still do it every day. That was pivotal for me. I had a sponsor back in the day. One of the things that I got really good at, everybody will attest to this, I was real good at seeing everything that was wrong. It's what project managers do. It's what we're trained to do. It's what my magical mind does. It goes and looks at systems and it sees where it's broken, and then it picks it up and designs. It's just part of an engineering design mind. But characteristically, I was guilty of only seeing everything that was wrong in everything. And I got stuck. Mel Robbins' High Five Challenge was pivotal in getting me unstuck in recent history. Having said that, the skill set back in the day, the same woman that taught me what the 12 principles of Alcoholics Anonymous actually are, because they don't hang on the wall. They do a Northwest Pima Club, or Northwest Alana Club, and they do it Eastside Meeting Place now. But she's the one that made me sit down and write an inventory, not of my resentments. I can write a resentment inventory and figure out my part. Hey, Pat. I cannot see your last name because I'm driving. Hey, Leanne. What's up, Chickaroo? I'm dealing with those crazy people. Whoever that is. So, lost my train of thought. Ooh, where was I? Crap! I don't remember where I was. It was a book. Yes, Judy. I can figure out what my part in a scenario is in about 3 seconds, where I've been selfish, self-centered. Here's what I couldn't do. I couldn't see anything right. I couldn't see anything right about anybody or anything. And so she made me write an inventory every human relationship I've ever had, primary relationship, parents, friends, siblings. And she made me write everything good I ever learned from those people. And do you know, I can write an inventory, fourth and fifth step of AA on a resentment, about 3 seconds. Took me almost 3 months to write that inventory because I could not see anything right about anything. And I still struggle a little bit. Not with new people. With new people, that is easy. Old people, not so much. I always get there, but it's just not ever an easy transition. And that has to do with when you're emotionally invested with people and whatnot. And Dr. Peterson this morning, if you're not following Jordan Peterson, man, that man is amazing. So is his daughter. I actually found him by way of his daughter, Michaela, who has fibromyalgia, and she has all kinds of not anymore, She had, from childbirth, this child had massive problems. And through a series of just default, and then Dr. Peterson, just here in the last year and a half, went through a massive public depression, which was so awesome to visually see, because he did it publicly. Well, the depression part, he did that privately at home. Clearly, it wasn't online, but everybody knew, and it's like, it happens to everybody, even the masters on the subject matter, and trying to eliminate the stigmatization that comes with mental struggle or emotional struggle. Dr. Ahmed is working really hard to shatter because here's reality. There's not a human on the planet that's not struggling with mental illness. Whether it's diagnosed or not is irrelevant. It's a fact, because that is the very nature of the human condition. We are spiritual beings having a human experience on this planet, which is why your endocrine system is so important. That's your Wi-Fi and your wireless software. And then your meditation time, that's your signal. You gotta go pay attention. And then you gotta try to be a human successfully. But there's also a different component to this. We're also humans attempting a spiritual experience, which is also why the endocrine system is the problem and the answer. So, books. I'm forever on a book. Keep your nose in audiobooks. I used to read, but I don't have time for that. Audio. And I listen to them at 1.5 to 2 times speed, and I blow through a lot of content. Tom Belu, he's the one that taught me I could train myself to do that. He's also the one that says, be legendary. I just say we already are, and we just need to stay. That's where that comes from. Go look these people up. Go blow up your mind. Expand your consciousness. If you really want to get way down the rabbit hole, go have a look at string theory. Whew. Yeah, that's right after Tesla and Einstein. Quantum mechanics. We love you. We love everybody. We just wish the planet was more receptive to our ability to love on them. Maybe someday. So far, people let me love on them pretty good today. We'll see how the rest of the day goes, because we're going to go help us some people. We love you. Oh, wait, hold on. How do you find Dr. Jordan Peterson? So in my Facebook feed this morning, Leanne, was a video that his morning video. He throws one up 3 times a week, I think. YouTube, Jordan Peter, hashtag YouTube saved my life, can save yours too. Go to YouTube and just type in Jordan Peterson. He's everywhere. He's literally everywhere. He's everywhere right now, and has been for the last 2.5, 3 years. He came on the scene with young people and the universities. He's a professor, and he has taken, he's an amazing man. Penny's so brutal. He's like, this life is cruel. It's brutal. What are you going to do about it? Yeah. And he's got the structures down. He's just... Professor Robert Sapolsky, Stanford University. He's the one, Leanne, just for your reference, how this whole psychoneuroendocrinology happened was Stanford University on YouTube has their Physiology 101 course online for free. And I started this whole thing. I decided I needed a base understanding of my physiology. It took me 3 times to get through it because the medical terms are a little clearly. I mean, I'd spent a lot of time going and looking up terms and whatnot. But that's Stanford University Physiology 101, Professor Robert Sapolsky. He's the one who, he's been a professor at Stanford now for 20, I don't even know, a long time. But he's the one that I learned the tit for tat. And that tit for tat is an actual thing. Tit for tat, when you're creating relationships, to the positive is how it's supposed to go. When you get caught up on tit for tat to the negative, yeah, in relationships, that's why wars happen. That's why wars happen. That's why domestic violence happens. That's why divorce happens. When people get caught up on tit for tat to the negative and they can't get it turned back around, however, it gets destroyed permanently. Or you wind up at war and people just die. But in order for you to be able to get that turned back around, you've got to have the brain health. Newsflash for you, if you had the brain health to not get caught up on tit for tat to the negative, you would have been just fine. That's the problem. People don't know where the problem actually is and how to address it. Then you got to have the humility to be willing to go and make those lifestyle changes and those personal changes and those character defect changes and clean your stuff up and change. Otherwise, you just live an accidental, ugly life. We love you. Have a great day. Joe Rogan has still not called. I am still not dead. And my mouth is still moving. Till the day I flat die. Ha! We love you.